Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, and your OBC, your original Boruto Chief, is going to be bringing you guys your predictions for Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 31. The chapter is out today on the 19th. I'm recording this at the morning of the 19th. The chapter review editor is currently working on the review. We should hopefully have the review up tomorrow, so I thank you in advance for your patience and for your support. As per usual, when we do these responses, I'm going to start over on Patreon first, look at the patrons, and then I will be heading over to YouTube to look over at what you guys got to say over on YouTube. So without further ado, let's just get right into it, man. So Snap says, Happy Chinese New Year to everyone who celebrates. I said last month, and I'll say it again, with the clones everywhere, Sarada's Mangekyo ability will be used, and perhaps we can see to what extent. Boruto is definitely going to save Kobu since he gave a side eye in the previous chapter. I'm curious to see if Mitsuki finally joins the battle. I feel like this is the time we get a cliffhanger to either Ada reveal or Kawaki unlocking a new karma pattern from its upgrade. I don't know if Kawaki gets a karma pattern upgrade, just because we saw in the flash forward sequence that the karma still pretty much looked the same, though. To be fair, Ikimoto did say, I want to say this was back in 2020, 2021, that he was going to change around some of the designs. I've talked about this in previous videos in the past, but the too long didn't read portion of it basically comes down to the fact that when Boruto Chapter 1 was done, Kishimoto basically said, I want Boruto to look drastically different than what fans saw him in Chapter 1. And there was not the Boruto movie, and there was not a super long window. They had to kind of rush to get that done. And so that's why you saw various things change with Boruto's design, from the clothes to the hair being shorter, the scar being smaller, like little small things. Like, and even with Kawaki, you see changes that were made. That's just because, as we know, based on Ikimoto's artistic style, he puts a lot of thought into the actual designs, the same way that the mangaka for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure does. The designs are a reflection of the characters. So I get it, but I don't think we'll get that. But I'm not closing the door on it. I'm really not closing the door on it. Aokuji, the Forsaken Storyteller. Let's see what you got to say, man. You always got some good stuff. Let's see. What's good? I'm going to make this one quick. I think this one's going to be more Sarada and Delta focus. They were in the chapter quite a bit. Pleasant surprise. We get signs of Sarada ODing on the Mangekyo. Oh, yeah. There's a video on Saturday. Like, it's like clockwork, right? Like, there are already people that are nitpicking on the Sarada thing, and they're calling it a plot hole and some more stuff. And I have a very strong feeling by the time 2 Blue Vortex is over, Sarada is going to end up deeper in the mud than Sakura fans with Naruto. And just like with the Sakura stuff, like, Sakura is not one of my favorite Naruto characters. And yet, because I took an objective stance on the character, there was like a stretch where I got called a Sakura clit rider. And like, I already see this coming with the Sarada stuff, because even like in some private chats I'm in, like when I point out like, hey, this part with Sarada is consistent with what you saw in Naruto in a completely unrelated aspect, as soon as I point that out, oh, you're just dick riding Sarada. How am I dick riding? And I'm literally showing you a panel from Naruto of her doing the exact same thing. Like, man, I really feel like this is some residual Sakura hate, man. Like, if Kari and Uzumaki was her mom, I don't think people would be nitpicking nearly as much. And I'll take it a step further. I think the Sarada was a boy, I really don't think that people would be nitpicking. But, you know, that's like another conversation for another day. Boruto saves Kobu, and it still goes wrong with the Mamushi party. So it did go wrong with the Mamushi party. Boruto did save Kobu. I'm not mad at the execution of it. I'm really not. Because it does look like it's just adding more tension to Boruto, Kashi, and Koji. Like, when that moment explodes, I really need to see it. It's not going to be a physical fight, but I do need to see that. The Mamushi party being over 200 people. Woo-wee. That's a lot of baby oil. All right, let's see. Benito DeCooch says, hey, Naruto explained. Hope you're doing wonderful. Been busy all week. Long. Okay, man. Words are bleeding together on me right there. Sorry for my late entry. Man, you don't need to apologize, man. I try to get these up sooner. It's just with the chapter being out earlier than normal. Like next month, the chapter is going to drop on the 18th. So because it's dropping a little earlier than normal, it kind of threw me off as well. Because I slipped up, so that was on me. Because normally I have these like the end of the first week each month. In terms of letting you guys get your predictions in sooner. Let's see. My prediction goes as follows. Boruto will save Kobu while Kashin Koji scolds him for that. That's close. Sarada might join the fight and probably use her Mangekyo Sharingan. That definitely happened. Kawaki would get impatient. That's coming. I feel like that's coming. It would get messy anyway. So here's my question. More so a thought, I would say. What you guys say? A solution to easily get rid of Mamushi. Boruto uses transformation jutsu into Ada to lure out all the Mamushi clones. Then the heavy hitters coordinate an attack to erase them all. What do you think about this? I feel like something that simple, if it would have worked, it would have been suggested by Kashin Koji and Shikamaru. And now that we know based off of the chapter with extra context that given what Ada's saying, Mamushi can gather insight when he's looking into someone's eyes. If Boruto transforms into Ada and Mamushi sees that Sharingan, it's kind of like a predator thing. Like predators are able to pick up on a person's scent or they recognize the scent. Mamushi's interacted with Boruto a few times. And Otsutsuki, the chakra signatures are unique. So I don't know if that will work. I think it's creative, but I think that because we've seen Boruto go back to basics on some of the stuff being used, I feel like if that would have been an option, it would have been deployed. It's creative though, I like it. Last question, how can Sarada fix her Mangekyo Sharingan blindness without necessarily needing her father's eyes for EMS? So I've done a couple videos on that. I'm gonna have to make an updated video just because of what's happened here with this chapter. But I would recommend just type in on the channel in the search bar if you're on desktop or if you're on tablet. Just go to my channel, and if you're on desktop or tablet, there's a search bar right next to the video tabs and etc. Type in Sarada EMS or Sarada Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and you'll see the videos I've done on it. You know, for me personally, I do a lot of the Boruto discussions because that's mostly what you guys want. And I'm a big proponent of you just do what your audience wants. But some of the topics too, like I get it, like when new stuff happens, you got to give an updated take on it. But like with some of the topics, like I'm like, man, I've like done a video on this like 3 years ago. Or I've done a video on it 2 years. And I get one in the updated stuff, but you know, sometimes like I do kind of feel like, man, it's like a little repetitive, but that's what people are asking questions for. That's what people want. And so it's a lot easier to just make the video opposed to just responding to 100 comments over 10 days of people asking for similar things. So, I mean, and again, circumstances change. That's part of following ongoing manga. So, you know, it is what it is on that. But I would recommend that. The new video I'm going to do on it, there's going to be some tweaks to it because there's some new relevant information. But my overall stance is low-key what it was back in 2020. As far as like Sarada getting her Mangekyo Sharingan, not Mangekyo, but Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Lord Krios says, if I said your name wrong, totally apologize. That's something that you have in common. Whatever your favorite Naruto anime character is, I've probably butchered their name as well. Let's see. First things first, appreciate all you do. Your videos have been a highlight of my days for the past year, especially the chapter reviews with the high tier quality your editors put into it. The wait is worth it. Man, that means a lot, man. Like, first and foremost, like, I don't do like a lot of heavy editing on the videos in terms of like the day-to-day videos, because I take over a lot of that editing myself. You can tell like when editors work on stuff, especially like you're on Patreon, so you've seen some of the videos that I've been stockpiling to get ready to unleash like another wave of higher edited videos, like that big documentary. It's not long, but it's probably, I want to say it's like a 15-minute video, but the editing in that one's more like the documentary style type of a vibe. But yeah, man, like with the chapter reviews, we try to up the quality on those. Like the editor is working on the new chapter review now, and he's trying out some new stuff. Like he's doing like some custom scenes that are using like a generated image. I'm not too sure how I feel about that part, because like with the thumbnails and everything, the thumbnails are hand drawn by an actual person. Like contrary to what some people think, like human beings work on the content on the channel, whether it be the scripts, whether it be the description, whether it be the artwork that you see on the thumbnails, or just the thumbnails in general. Especially if you're like in the Patreon Discord server, you know I'm not a big fan of AI. So I'm like a little back and forth on it. I like when I do use editors, I give them leeway to edit how they want. So like there's like 1 or 2 scenes that they're using this that are going to be AI generated. And it's because what I reference is not in the manga. So, you know, I get it. But I don't know, man. Like I'm a little hesitant on that. You know, I know like everything's shifting to AI. I'm personally not a fan of it. Let's see. You said, as for my prediction, I'm going to go on a wild limb and state that either Sai or Shikamaru are going to be the ones to save Kobu. You are a good prognosticator. They showed up. They didn't save him, but they did show up. And most likely Sai, since he noticed that Inojin was the one controlling Kobu. This is after he questions Shikamaru. He's going to ask Inojin what the heck he's doing. Oh, that conversation with Inojin is definitely coming at some point. We know that's coming. Over on the other fronts, we're going to see a lead into Ada's location being compromised, forcing Ada's defense squadron to come to effect while Boruto starts heading to the scene of the conflict. Yeah, Shikamaru basically said, everybody, Ada's bait. And it's wild ball out of left field plot twist. Either Jura or Hidari gonna show up, and depending on which one will force Kawaki or Sarada into the respective matchup, Hidari versus Sarada or Kawaki versus Jura. I don't think that we're gonna see either one of those inside the village. Just looking at how Ikimoto paces things, I don't think that you see that. Everything's been focused more so on one shinju at a time. It's been very rare, like only when it was Matsuri and Ryu that we've seen them operate as a tandem. So I don't think that's happening. They're purposely keeping everything contained within Konoha for a reason. So I don't see that one. Isaiah Nara, are you new? I gotta check. I don't think I've seen you comment yet. Are you in the Patreon Discord server? If you are, hop in the general chat. If you're not, let me know. Like DM me here on the Patreon, or I'll DM you after I record this and make sure I send you a link. Let's see. Charismatic Charles says Kakashi saves Kobu. Oh, that would have been dope. Like this ain't just swoop in. It's like, yo, Kobu, I got you, fam. That'd have been nice. Let's see. Also, Momoshiki tells Boruto he can use any of his power. Boruto chose to use the Byakugan out of the feeling that Boruto could use his Rinnegan in that eye as well. I need that. I also find it interesting that the Byakugan isn't yellow, because at the time Momoshiki planted Boruto at Koma, he was evolved and his Byakugan was yellow. Assuming that Momoshiki's different eyes are the Byakugan and the 3 yellow Rinnegan, I think Boruto could just decide which one he uses. I mean, that would be consistent. You know, that would be consistent. I think it was a creative writing decision to have him choose Byakugan since he is of Hyuga blood. That's how I interpreted that. I think we're on the same wavelength there. I'm not mad at that. Isaiah Nara says, I noticed something interesting. Boruto and Momoshiki made a deal. So therefore, at some point, Momoshiki would gain full access to Boruto's body. Yep. Given that the Karma was given to Boruto for Momoshiki's resurrection, but ended up being stopped due to Kawaki killing Boruto, means or possibly means Boruto's soul is still there and is still the original soul of his body. Yeah, his soul wasn't overridden. Momoshiki would be considered a foreign entity due to the progression being stopped. The Karmic resurrection, mentioned in Volume 2, Chapter 5, can be a way for when he does eventually take over. They can use that method to get rid of that foreign entity, Momoshiki. Just a thought. I mean, that's creative. Like, there should be a back door. I don't necessarily know if it would go that way. That's creative, though. That's creative. Like, again, I'm not too sure. But Momoshiki, that DNA basically stopping extraction, that, I mean, that's got to come back at some point as well. As far as there being a potential logjam for Momoshiki, I'm not mad at it. P.S. Kobu probably won't be killed. Sai and Ino will probably realize Shikamaru's using their son, even though the audience knows what's going on. And I think Boruto will save Kobu, and Boruto will know it's Koji, thus fueling the conflict between them. So that part did happen. Shikamaru being taken away from the position, Kakashi will be Hokage going forth. Yeah, and I think that Shikamaru is cooked. I'll be surprised if he stays on. Pleasantly surprised, because I'm enjoying Hokage Shikamaru, and I'm enjoying him. As far as like with Sai, I like the decision we got in this chapter, you know, just playing up more so of the fact that, like, hey fam, you know, I'm a parent too, but you and I, we are Konoha shinobi. That has to come first, and we're in leadership roles. You know, you're just going to trust I'm doing the best thing for the village. So, I mean, I like that. Let's see. Matthew Diaz, longtime subscriber, longtime patron, says Boruto saves Kobu, which gets Koji mad about, and Kobu sees how bad the situation is. Sai is having none of what Shikamaru is trying to say at first, as he knows Jin was put in a horrible situation, but eventually starts to understand. You definitely got that right. You definitely got that right. Good prognosticator. The Mamushi party multiplies even more. Yeah, we go on to Mamushi Steen Island. Chapter ends with Shikamaru telling the heavy hitters, Boruto, Kawaki, Sarada, and Mitsuki to start mobilizing, but before that, we start to see Kawaki's impatience coming through. And like the fact that this man had his karma seal on, it means he was fighting. And like Shikamaru did tell him, like, hey, you keep your ass on standby. So I don't know, man. That's a good prediction. That's a good prediction. That didn't turn out pretty well. Let's see. Over on YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, and I got like the total millennial meme that is on here. Like I told somebody in the comment section, who gives a fuck if it's a outdated meme? Just post your prediction. Like, I literally went onto my PC, typed in Itachi, grabbed the first thing that popped up. Like, it is what it is. All right, let's see. Techno Bat 8601 says, after hanging around my girlfriend so much at college, I forgot it's that time of the month has multiple meanings. Yo, you better not forget that one, man. Like, it's only one time a month you better be absolutely in remembrance of, especially the days around that time of the month. Gum Chow says, I just realized we're on chapter 31, 2.5 years since the series release. Damn, yeah, time's gone by very quickly. Very quickly. Little Flash Uchiha 8996 says, for my prediction, I think Boruto won't actually interfere and he will team up with Himawari. I wouldn't have been mad if that happened. I'm not mad at what we got either, but I wouldn't be mad if that. I probably would have preferred that more. Also feel like Damon might finally have a fight and we'll get a glimpse into how strong he really is. Yeah, like we have a rough idea how strong he is, because for him to take down a beyond Jura level fighter, not Jura, but Jigen level fighter that easily, and then we learned that he wasn't even using full power. Like, the kid's strong. So yeah, but yeah, I do agree. Like, this is the fight to do it, and it looks like we're gonna see it. It really looks like we're gonna see it, man, just based off of the sheer numbers. Jaden Castro says, finally able to make it early enough for one of these again. Yeah, and like you posted early enough, so you definitely showed up in it. For my prediction, I think that someone is probably gonna intervene on Kobu's situation. My vote is Sai, since it would expand narrative on the Yamanaka clan story that has been set up, and it would be cool to eventually see him part of the Boruto squad, possibly taking Inoji's spot so he doesn't have to get his hands dirty. Oh, no, Inoji's staying in. Too valuable. As for the Mamushi situation, I think he might still have something up his sleeve, because cloning might be his main ability, but the timeline has changed, so maybe his fighting style as well. Well, we do know he has a secondary ability. Ada discusses it in the chapter. He's able to gain insight when he's able to lock eye contact with, at the bare minimum, her. Boruto is most likely going to meet up with Team 10 while Sarada and Delta stay on the sidelines in this chapter, because I think that there'll be a payoff later for these two. Well, we did see them fight, and that was a welcome surprise. You know, still blows my mind people are getting pissed off that Sarada is seeing fuzzy stuff. Like, whoo. I would again just say, reread Naruto. Sasuke was having issues with his eyes well before you even got to the 5 Kage summit, and he was using Mangekyo like a dumbass well before 5 Kage summit, and even before the Killer Bee fight. Reread Naruto. Kinda Black says, I think Kobu will be attacked and then saved by Mitsuki or someone we weren't really accounting for, maybe even Kakashi. That'd have been dope. But you know, like, the Boruto aspect works because it's fueling conflict on multiple sides with the Shikamaru situation as well as the Kashi and Koji situation. So I'm not mad at it. Other than that, we see more Mamushi clones get destroyed and maybe more Ada, Koji, and Jura screen time. But speaking of screen time, I've like totally got to go thaw out the soup that I made, like when we were in that ice storm and etc. I got leftover soup, and this is like totally random. This is why I do not fucking live stream, but I'm like, because I'm starting to get hungry. I'm like, damn, I didn't take my soup out this morning. All right, let's see. Brandon Johnson, 1983 says, were you born in 1983? That's like the most random shit ever for me to even ask that. Anyway, 2020 hindsight for the OBC fam to show some love to our boy Chibi starting his training. Damn. Because of the Chibi review situation. If that shit about the person that, was it his fiance or his wife? I think it was the fiance. It was the fiance. If that person really was a Boruto fan that smashed his wife, that is like the biggest plot twist ever. You know, people be saying so much crazy shit online where you don't even know what's true anymore. But, you know, hey, like, I don't personally care with the Chibi review stuff. Like, you know, I don't think I've talked about it on the channel. You know, I don't condone that the guy got doxxed and all the other stuff. Like, I don't condone that. But at the same time, and there is a but, like, when you do the rage baiting and some more stuff, when people start coming at your neck on stuff, like, I don't feel sympathy. I don't think you should be doxxed, but I don't feel sympathy. You know, if this guy takes this opportunity, gets in the gym and beefs up and etc. Like, I don't get into lolicon shit, but you know, like, if he beefs up and he does his thing, more power to him. I'm a big proponent of taking care of your body. Your body's your temple, you know, so more power to him. And because I know there's gonna be the guy that asks in the comment section, how much can you lift? I have not done a personal 1 rep max on bench pressing yet in a long time, but I've done 22 reps of 225 in terms of bench press. I mean, I'm pretty fucking strong, like, you know, so it's like, yeah, gonna be very interesting to see how much strength I retain, because doctor's getting on me to really lean up too much mass right now. So it's gonna be interesting to see how much gets retained. But you know, it's just a matter of changing how you train, really. And I'm gonna get smaller anyway, just because I want to run in a 5K this year. I want to do a 5K and a 10K next year. So I'm gonna get leaner just because extra mass gets in the way of your time. And I mean, vanity reasons too. You know, I get more of the women that I'm actually attracted to when I've got a leaner form. But yeah, more power to him, man. You know, if he gets his health in order, great for him. Part of me does think this is an Amaranth situation. I don't know if I believe it, you know. And if you know what happened to Amaranth, you get why I'm saying that. But you know, hey, if he's going through it for real, you know, prayers to him. Hope he gets his head together. Let's see. TRJS777 says, got another prediction in Panicky Nojin. Jesus Christ. Releases the mind transfer jutsu. And when one of Mamushi slammed Kobu down and screams, I'm just gonna ask for Ada. And Kobu gets a flashback. And in the flashback, we see a man with a white beard asking Kobu about his... Oh, Amato. I see what you did there. That would be nice. You know, like the artist for the channel has a theory that like Kobu is Ada and Damon's dad. Like if you notice like with some of the artwork, like Kobu has green in the hair, like basically like a nod to Damon. That's why. If that happens, that would be interesting because it'd just be everything fully connected. Dahan Muhammad 9157 says, Naruto explained, Heart, this is probably my first post for predictions on the correct page. Heart, I think if I had to guess, it's Ino on the cover. It's Inoichi, Ino's dad. You probably meant Inojin. Let's see. Kobu's attack. Boruto stops it. Correct. Boruto wipes away Kobu. Mamushi. Correct. Kobu gets it, but he don't know he's on the roof of the Hokage's. How he's on the roof of the Hokage's building. Inojin breaks his jutsu after Boruto saves Kobu. Shikamaru has to deal with Sai as Kobu is saved, and then Kashin uses Inojin to connect everyone. Koji is like, what the F, Boruto? Shika deals with Sai and anger. I see Shika focusing on Mamushi and the triangulation of his movements to determine who is the real Mamushi. I think it's too early for Sarada, not Kawaki, Delta, or Himawari. Boruto should visit her. Don't think this chapter. I mean, that's a solid prediction. You got a few things right. Good job. Trish. So I'm going to skip over this one because you've left a comment before. Let's see. Sailor Moon fan for life says nice, can't wait. So no prediction. Hey, appreciate the comment being left though. That is too long for me to even attempt to say. So your name, not gonna call you Bob. I'm gonna call you Sebastian. That is longer than Bob because you got a long names. I'm just gonna say Sebastian to fit. I'm predicting that Kobu's gonna be saved by Sai. I hate these handles on YouTube, man. Like, I hate that they did this. I get why they did. I hate it though. And we'll see Sai scrap Mamushi. That'd have been dope to see that. And then we'll see the aftermath of Kobu living, and that'll lead to Shikamaru getting removed in office, and the worst possible outcome will begin to unfold. I think that's after the Mamushi stuff. Kobu's not gonna remove him just yet. And this was even before we got the spoilers. Like, I think this is after. That's another one. So I said Sebastian. So I'm going to say Sebastian 2.0. Like, this is why if I ever have kids and they're twins, I'm just going to say son of a bitch number 1, son of a bitch number 2. I will write that on the birth certificate. They will have to get their name changed. All right, let's see. Seeing the sneak peek, there are only 2 probability. First, Sai will team up with Shikamaru as his son's there, absolutely. And the second, we will see Kobu expose Shikamaru to the elders, and Kobu will see a new Hokage. Maybe we can see Kakashi in screen time. Then I agree with you on that one. Oren Previ 860. Because that was good. That was good. I think that's realistic. Not for this chapter, but in the future. Mamushi confronts Inojin and Kobu. Boruto intervenes. Inojin releases the jutsu in time for Kobu to see Boruto save him. Kobu gets this, changes nothing. Yeah, good prediction. That was basically what happened. Good prediction. Rising Reform 3816 says Kobu lives to see another day. Has some divine intervention Boruto, while Kobu has Daimo intervention. That's coming. That last part's definitely coming. A Sainty says this meme. Yeah, oldie but a good one. But yeah, chapter review will be out on the 20th. So make sure to check that out. And remember, next month, first Saturday of the month, if you want to get your predictions in, you definitely want to head over to the community tab. I'm going to post more on the community tab anyway, but if you want to be featured in videos like this, definitely leave it on the community tab or join over on the Patreon, because the patrons get first access to things of this nature as well as videos a month in advance when I get them done by editors.